What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Jon Drives. Today it is time to do a coilover install on my E36 barn find build. Now these coilovers were sent out to us by MaXpeedingrods, so big shout out to them. Now this car is on stock suspension right now and it is all kind of going out over time, and the coilovers are definitely a good upgrade to do. So today we're gonna get them on. Let's get started. Well, I got the car up in the air, got the hood popped, and now the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead in here to the old stock suspension. I'm going to take off this 18mm bolt here. There's a nut on the back. That 18, along with there's two on each side, one 18 here and another on the other side. Once I have those three out, then I'll be able to go ahead and take out the top three, which are located on the top inside the engine bay right here. These are three, I believe they're 13mm. Once those are out, the entire shock should come out. You might need to slide out your brake lines and your speed sensors in the front. I have brand new stainless steel lines, so I'm just going to scoot that to the side and we'll be set. Oh my. Alrighty, so here's the new MaXpeedingrod coilover. Got the old one out sitting on the ground over there. This one's looking good, ready to toss in. This is the one with adjustable dampening on the top, so you can take this little red protectant off. And this is an adjustable dampener. I will leave a link down in the description where you can buy these for yourself if you want to. Yeah, I've run these on another E36 for the money. They're not too bad overall. I've never had the ones with the adjustable dampening, so I'm really excited to try that out. But first, we gotta throw these things in. Little side note here, you want to make sure this is oriented where the camber adjustment plate is going this direction, so that way you will be able to unbolt these four little hex bolts here, and you can slide the entire top hat one way or another, adding or taking out some camber. Just like before, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall it the same way it came out. Had a little trouble getting this bolt out just because it's a little bit rusted. I see I need to replace some joints, but that will come for a later day. So what I had to do here is the lower control arm joint in there is so old, it's just so stuck, I wasn't actually able to lift it up by myself. So I got the jack, got it on the ground. That way I can kind of lift the whole assembly up into the place where I need it on the coilover. I actually lowered the coilover a little bit, so I will have to adjust the adjustability whenever we get it all fully installed. Just need to get it all bolted up on all four corners, sit on the ground and see where we sit. Alrighty, so we got the first one in. I lowered it on the ground, and it's a little bit higher than I wanted, so I'm actually going to lower it. So what you do, you can go and take your spanner wrenches here that are supplied, go ahead and crack this jam nut loose, which it is. Sometimes you can take your hand and just twist this top part here, like I'm doing now, or if it's a little bit tough, you can take your wrench and adjust this like so. That will give you more or less ride height. Obviously, the more spring showing here, taller it's going to be, less thread showing here, shorter it's going to be. Alright, just jam that up. I think this is about where I want it. So along with the coilovers, we do have spacers for this car. I believe it's like a 20 in the front and 25 in the back. We're going to try that out right now. We haven't done the rest, but we're kind of excited to try it and see how it looks. Hopefully we can get it nice and tucked. Nothing too crazy because I still want it drivable, but just enough where it's going to look nice. Alright, so here are the spacers right here. These are just eBays. Nothing really special about these. I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description if you're trying to pick some up. I run these same ones on my white Drift E36. They do come with longer lug bolts, which is a necessity. Don't run big spacers with short lug bolts or you won't have enough threads into holding your wheel on. Just go ahead and toss the 20s on the front, which is, I think it's this one. See how it looks? Alright, just gonna test it out. Let's go and lower it down and see how it looks. It's looking really promising. I'm excited to see it. Alrighty, so we just wrapped up the front. It came out pretty nice. This is kind of where we're currently sitting right here. So we do have some gap. This is with the 20 mil spacer on there. So it does fill it up a little bit. It's about where I want it to. I can go ahead and lower it a little bit more and camber it in if I want to. I don't want to get too crazy with it right off the bat. So we're gonna go ahead and move to the back of the car, do that coilover install. Should be a breeze. Alright, we're in the trunk here. This is how you get to the 2 bolts in the top for the back shock. Gonna go ahead and remove the battery as I did, and then you gotta carefully remove this piece of carpet right here. I think there's just a few little clips holding it in, which I do want to put this back, so I gotta be careful. There we go. I had to take some of this insulation out and the sound deadening, along with kind of taking out the part of the battery. There's just 2 13s on the top we need to remove. Alrighty, so we're under the car. There's 1 18 you need to take off on the back of the shock, and the whole shock will come off. Woo! Alright, now it's time to get the old spring out. Really simple. Put your foot on here, maybe have a buddy do it. Start pressing down and then pull it out. You gotta be kind of safe about it though. Alright, Andy, I need your help. Taking a look here at the old spring versus the new spring. I do want to swap over these rubber little top hat deals onto the new ones. So right here is about how the spring should look. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust a little bit and make the spring compress a little bit less. That way it'll be a little easier to get it into the car. Alright, Andy.
My lowly, my helping.
I need your foot. One more time. Now it's time to go ahead and lower this down a little bit and actually jack this up just a hair. And also, something I like to do is go ahead and unthread this a little bit. Gives you more room to work with. And then once you get it up in there, you can kind of adjust it how you want via this and the spring. The downside with some of these kind of less expensive coilovers is that it kind of fights you a little bit trying to bolt that rear shock up. At least in my cases. So what I kind of usually have to do is I have to jack the car up. But we got it up. So it's time to go ahead and put that rear 25 millimeter spacer on. This should be a good ride height. It's gonna be kind of low, but that's kind of where we're wanting it. Rusty hub. Alrighty, first test drive with the MaXpeedingrods coilovers on the E36. So far so good. This car is not quite roadworthy quite yet, so we're gonna just kind of take it around this little business park. So the car feels pretty good. Here, we'll just dip on the road real quick. Still trying to work out power steering in this car. And the clutch. So first impressions aren't too bad. It's not super stiff, but you can definitely feel it compared to the stock suspension. But as far as just like a really budget weekend drifter driver, they're not a bad choice. Yeah, I'm excited to try these out a little bit more at some point. Like I said, it is raining today. We're gonna take it easy. Oh, all that torque in the 328, baby. Alrighty, so my first impressions on the MaXpeedingrods coilovers. These coilovers are great if you're looking for just something really budget that can just get your car lower, or if you just have a cheap project or a budget build, or if you just have like a weekend project car. These will suffice for sure. Now, I definitely don't want to be misleading. If you do have something more performance oriented, it is better to maybe spend the money, go a different route. But MaXpeedingrods reached out to me. I'm gonna do them due diligence and say it is really good for a budget coilover. For $200 and something, you can't really beat it. You know, that's so cheap, free shipping. They did supply me with a code, so that's all gonna be linked down in the description. I believe Jon Drives will get you a certain percentage off your order. Their website's down there if you want to check them out for your E36. I did run their coilovers on my white E36 for the longest time. And like I said, starting out, budget coilover, pretty decent. I would definitely go for it. Like I said, I ran theirs for a while. Big thank you to MaXpeedingrods for sending out the coilovers for me to try out on the Barn Find build. If you haven't seen the other episodes, make sure to check those out here, the Barn Find build. If you use the MaXpeedingrods links down in the description, they do ship out from the United States, free shipping. They'll get out to you pretty quickly. I just wanted to leave you guys with that. I'll have more thoughts and reviews later down the road once I get to experience them a little bit more. Still got some work to do on the Barn Find to get it completely roadworthy, but it's definitely going in the right direction. I got some other projects I'm kind of trying to balance right now as well. So if this helped you out at all, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Got a lot of builds on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.